On this 2019 through 2024 Ram 1500 Classic with the 3.6 Pentastar P0455 is an EVAP system large leak code. In plain language, the PCM may be seeing that the fuel vapor system cannot hold vacuum the way it should. The truck may drive normally, but the MIL can come on, and depending on the leak, there may be a fuel vapor odor. Broadly, the possible fault areas can include EVAP plumbing, the canister and fuel tank sealing areas, the ESIM and its wiring or seal, and purge solenoid leakage. If other codes are present, check what they mean first, then keep this test focused on proving whether the EVAP system is actually leaking and where that leak is. Before getting deep into leak testing, start with the basic system checks. Make sure any applicable service bulletins or PCM flash updates related to this fault have been handled. If one applies, perform it, then leak test the EVAP system to confirm it is not leaking before moving on. Also keep the monitor gates in mind. This code runs under specific conditions, including a cold start after the small leak test failed during the last valid ignition off event. Ambient temperature between 4 degrees C and 35 degrees C, 39 degrees F and 95 degrees F, fuel level between 12% and 88%, and elevation below 8,000 feet. On the monitor side, a valid engine on drive cycle is for a minimum of 2-5 minutes, and the engine on timer is clipped to a maximum of 26 minutes on any given trip. During the engine off part, there is a 12-minute delay time in which the PCM will ignore ESIM switch input. If there is no ESIM switch closure during the event, the maximum time is 17.5 hours. The accumulation fail timers are engine on 100 minutes and engine off 70 hours. A general EVAP failure can be recognized when vacuum cannot be created below -250 Pa within a calibrated time. When the system vacuum reaches between -187 Pa and -250 Pa, it acts on the ESIM diaphragm and closes the vacuum switch. The ESIM signal will typically be a 12.0 volt or 5.0 volt signal depending on the vehicle, and the voltage signals can vary between vehicles and may be somewhere between 5.0 and 12.0 volts. For P0455, the setting logic is that during the intrusive test, the ESIM switch opened before the calibrated period of time, which points to a large leak being present. Next, turn the ignition on and run the small leak verification test routine with the scan tool. Follow the screen prompts and document the result from each phase. If the routine passes, that tells you the system may be sealed right now. Compare the results against the manual evaluation expectations, and if the system is functioning properly, do not make a repair attempt. If the routine fails, use those results to guide the manual evaluation. If the routine is not available or will not run, move straight into the manual EVAP evaluation. For the manual evaluation, remember the readings are not absolute. Fuel tank size, system size, fuel volume, barometric pressure, ambient temperature, and fuel temperature can all move the results around. Extreme temperature changes can either mask a leak by creating vacuum quickly, or make a sealed system look like it leaks because vapor buildup decays the vacuum too fast. For best results, the fuel tank should be less than 95% of fuel tank capacity. During the manual test, monitor and document purge duty cycle percent, ESIM switch state, and fuel tank pressure. Pa. Work the 5 phases in order. In Phase 1, vent the system and record the ESIM and fuel tank pressure readings. The ESIM switch should be open and the fuel tank pressure should be near 0. If the ESIM reads closed here, think about an ESIM signal wire shorted to ground, a stuck closed ESIM switch, or a purge solenoid that did not open if it was actuated. In Phase 2, monitor the ESIM state and fuel tank pressure for 2-3 minutes. The fuel tank pressure should start to slowly change positive or negative. A change of more than 200 Pa in 1 minute means the system is too unstable to test accurately. A steady value can mean a leak is present, or that the system temperature is too stable to cause a change. A very rapid pressure change means the temperature change is too large and the result is invalid. In Phase 3, start the engine and record the ESIM and fuel tank pressure within 5-10 seconds after startup, while purge is still off. A small vacuum is expected, typically between approximately -25 and -50 Pa. If vacuum is created instantly near or below the ESIM regulation point, -500 Pa, that points toward a leaking purge solenoid. In Phase 4, allow purge to become active just long enough to create maximum vacuum. Fuel tank pressure should drop quickly to approximately -600 Pa, and the ESIM switch should change to closed. If pressure drops but the switch does not close, suspect a stuck open switch or an open in the ESIM signal or ground circuit. If the switch closes but pressure changes very little or not at all, look for a restriction between the canister and FTP sensor or a faulty stuck sensor, and verify 5-volt supply is present before condemning the sensor. If neither the switch closes nor the pressure changes much, think very large leak or purge solenoid not opening when actuated. If the vacuum created is 2 to 3 times expected, the canister vent hose or fresh air filter may be plugged, or the ESIM vacuum vent valve may be stuck closed. In Phase 5, turn the engine off and monitor ESIM and fuel tank pressure for 3-4 minutes. The FTP reading should quickly return to approximately -500 Pa and stabilize. Vacuum should stay below approximately -250 Pa, and the ESIM switch should remain closed during that 3-4 minute monitor period. If the fuel tank pressure rises quickly near zero or above -250 Pa and the ESIM opens within that time, the system has a leak. If all expected results were met in every phase, the system is most likely not leaking at this time. Once the manual evaluation proves the leak is there, choose how you want to leak check the EVAP system. You can test the entire system as one assembly or split it at the charcoal canister and isolate which side is leaking. If the earlier path is unclear at this point, pause, recheck the earlier diagnostic path, and avoid guessing. For a whole system leak check, use kit, yield and accessory 8400-4C. Connect the red power lead to battery positive and the black ground lead to battery negative, then connect shop air to the yield. Set the smoke and air control switch to AIR and press the remote smoke and air start button. Block the end of the tester AIR supply tip while pressing the remote start button. If the indicator ball is not resting on the bottom of the airflow meter, set the red flag so it aligns with the ball. Connect service adapter 8400-4ADP to the ESIM vent hose. Connect the AIR supply tip to the adapter, activate airflow, and compare the ball to the red flag. If the ball drops to the bottom of the airflow meter, or below the red flag, the leak is coming from the vent valves inside the ESIM because the rest of the system is not leaking. Replace the ESIM, then verify the repair with the intrusive leak evaluation. If the ball stays above the red flag, the leak is somewhere else in the system, not the ESIM vent valves. Find and repair the leak using smoke testing, a hydrocarbon sniffer, or a bubble test. To check the purge solenoid for an internal leak, remove the manifold hose from the purge solenoid. Fill the system with smoke and look for smoke coming through the purge solenoid. If smoke is present, replace the purge solenoid, then verify the repair with the intrusive leak evaluation. If you prefer to isolate the system first, remove the canister tube that connects to the fuel tank on the other end from the charcoal canister. Attach a hand vacuum pump to the fitting on the canister, then pump it until the ESIM switch closes. With the scan tool, monitor the ESIM switch state for up to 10 minutes. If the ESIM switch stays closed for a minimum of 5 minutes, the leak is on the fuel tank side of the EVAP system. If it does not stay closed, the leak is on the fresh air and canister side. For a fuel tank side leak, use kit, yield, and accessory 8400-4C. Connect power and ground to the battery, connect shop air, and set the smoke and air control switch to smoke. Attach the black hose to the canister tube, then press the remote button to fill the fuel tank side of the system with smoke. Find and repair the leak using a smoke test, hydrocarbon sniffer, or bubble test. To check the purge solenoid for an internal leak, Remove the manifold hose from the purge solenoid, fill the system with smoke, and check for smoke coming through the purge solenoid. Repair or replace the leaking component. If smoke is present through the purge solenoid, replace the purge solenoid. Then verify the repair with the intrusive leak evaluation. For a fresh airside leak, use kit, yield, and accessory 8404C. Connect power and ground to the battery, connect shop air, set the tester to AIR, and set the red flag the same way as the whole system test if the ball is not resting at the bottom of the flow meter. Connect service adapter 8400-480P to the ESIM vent hose. Connect the AIR supply tip, activate airflow, and compare the ball to the red flag. If the ball drops to the bottom of the airflow meter or below the red flag, the leak is coming from the vent valves inside the ESIM, so replace the ESIM. If the ball stays above the red flag, the leak is elsewhere on that side of the system. Use smoke testing, a hydrocarbon sniffer, or a bubble test to find and repair it. Also check the purge solenoid the same way. Remove the manifold hose, fill the system with smoke, and if smoke comes through the purge solenoid, replace the purge solenoid. After any repair here, verify the repair with the intrusive leak evaluation. The key with P0455 is not to chase parts. Prove whether the EVAP system is leaking. Use the ESIM and fuel tank pressure behavior to decide where to go next. Isolate the side of the system if needed, and verify the repair after the leak is found. For more diagnostic training, visit Diagnostics.com.